Hi, I'm Eric Bolling in for Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching this special edition of The Factor Election 2016. Let's get straight to our top story. Donald Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, charged with battery in Florida. Lewandowski is accused of grabbing former Breitbart reporter Michelle Fields in a rough way following a Trump press conference in Jupiter, Florida on March 8th. Jupiter police released this previously unseen surveillance video of the incident in which Lewandowski appears to make direct contact with Fields. Donald Trump is giving his full support to Lewandowski.
Corey's a fine person. The tapes to me are very conclusive. A lot of people are looking and saying, how can anybody be charged? She was actually, if you look at her, my book, and according to a lot of people, she's grabbing at me, and he's acting as an intermediary.
Trump also tweeted, "Why aren't people looking at this reporter's earliest statement as to what happened? That is, before she found out the episode was on tape." Michelle Fields responded to Trump on Twitter, writing, quote, "Because my story never changed. Seriously, just stop lying." Corey Lewandowski was booked to be on this show exclusively tonight, but has subsequently canceled. So joining us now with reaction from Dallas, Trump campaign spokesperson Katrina Pearson, and from Houston, Cruz campaign communications director Alice Stewart. I'm going to start with you, Katrina. So it was a very, very busy day, breaking news all over the place. The police in Florida said that they were going to go ahead and charge him. Originally, they said they were arresting Corey Lewandowski. He didn't get arrested. Tell us what the latest is from the camp.
Well, Mr. Lewandowski did go and turn himself in because there was a notice to appear in court. There was not an arrest. And he's going to plead guilty. The allegation is that Corey Lewandowski aggressively grabbed a reporter, nearly throwing her to the ground. Those are her words. Those were her original statements. She even wrote a blog about it. And we can see from the video that is not what happened.
All right, Katrina, you said he's going to plead guilty.
I'm sorry, plead not guilty.
Right.
Corey Lewandowski is innocent, and you were correct in your statement by saying that Donald Trump stands by Corey Lewandowski, as does the rest of the campaign.
Okay, Alice, what does the Cruz camp see? What do they see when they look at all this going on in the Trump campaign?
Well, a picture paints 1,000 words, Eric, and that picture says it all. Look, this is the consequence of the Trump culture and the culture of a campaign that is based on insults, verbal and physical attacks, and complete disrespect for people. When you have a candidate that goes out to events and encourages people at his events to punch others in the face and attacks and harasses another candidate's spouse and insults your colleague Megyn Kelly and Carly Fiorina, this is a campaign that leadership starts at the top, and when you have a leader who engages in a culture of such disrespect, it trickles down, and this is the consequences of it. And look, people have a choice. You can side with a campaign that is based on insults and attacks, or someone like Ted Cruz, who is bringing the Republican Party together. And we don't want to talk about this. We want to put this behind us, and I'm assuming that the Trump campaign does as well, because what we're seeing, Ted Cruz is unifying Republicans. We had the governor of Wisconsin come out today and show his endorsement.
Let's understand this.
Go ahead, Katrina. You can respond to this, saying Alice is saying that this starts from the top, basically pointing the finger at Donald Trump for what happened to Michelle Fields.
Well, that's just not the case. I mean, the culture of this campaign is, as Mr. Trump mentioned from the very beginning, it's not politically correct, and sometimes telling the truth inherently is belligerent. And these are facts. Mr. Trump has been defending himself and members of his campaign for a very long time. He has never once gone on offense. He's always been on defense. And as he always mentions, that he's a counter puncher. There is no culture of anything. If there's a culture of anything in a campaign, it's dirty tricks. And that has been the Cruz campaign from the beginning. It's undeniable. But to the further point with this specific allegation against Corey Lewandowski, this is another example of how everyone tries to take advantage of attacking Mr. Trump. This is a hashtag Never Trump idea. The incident occurred, and it wasn't until days later when this reporter went to the police after the narrative was shaped on Twitter. Nothing happened at this event that hasn't happened in any other event. When you are in the middle of press scrum, more importantly, crossing a Secret Service threshold to reach out and put your hands on a candidate, and you can see Donald Trump withdraw when she grabbed his arm. What do you expect to happen? So, of course, reporters are always moved around in these types of scrums.
Let me ask Alice, is it possible that this incident is being somewhat politicized?
Absolutely not. As I said, the picture paints 1,000 words. We're seeing with our own two eyes, and for for Donald Trump and the campaign to say that this didn't happen. I heard another Trump spokesperson earlier today say this is the new normal. Well, I certainly hope not. I think the people of this country deserve much better. Reporters deserve much better, and the political process deserves much better. Look, it is absolutely plain and simple what happened here.
What did, Alice? I mean, I'm not. Look, I'm watching.
The court of law.
I'm watching the videos as well.
This reporter was not thrown to the ground.
So here's the question. I mean, part of the, the legal barrier that they have to pass is, I believe there has to be some sort of intent on one hand, or some malice by Corey Lewandowski. Do you think that was there, Alice?
Well, that's what will be decided in a court of law. And look, the picture says a lot, and I encourage everyone to take a look at this. And I take Michelle's words for what she says, as well as the local law enforcement officer that brought these charges forth. Look, this is a situation that the Trump has to deal with. This is another case of actions have consequences. And the actions throughout the culture of this campaign have been those of disrespect, those of verbal and physical abuse, and let them deal with that. Look, what we're doing today, we started out today with phenomenal news of the endorsement of Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker.
Okay.
He stands behind Ted Cruz.
We want to stay on this. Let's stay on this, you guys. Let's stay on what the topic is. The topic is this Corey Lewandowski showing up at police headquarters in Florida. Katrina, take a listen to Ted Cruz and John Kasich responding to what happened today, the events of the day.
It's a very sad development, and this is the consequence of the culture of the Trump campaign, the abusive culture. When you have a campaign that is built on personal insults, on attacks, and now physical violence.
I can only talk about what I would do. We probably would suspend somebody, and it would depend what it is and what the evidence was. But when we see things that we think are inappropriate, we take action.
Now, Katrina, the Donald Trump campaign, Donald Trump himself has tweeted, as we showed earlier in the segment, his support for Corey Lewandowski.
Sure. Well, I mean, and these two candidates, Kasich and Cruz, both are also two candidates that took the side of domestic terrorist Bill Ayers and Black Lives Matter at a Trump rally. So what they're talking about is more politicization. But to Alice's point, I will say this. Allegations also have consequences. This is a man that has 4 small children being accused of battering a woman. I am very confident that Mr. Lewandowski is going to beat these charges, and the only thing this is going to do is change the way the press is handled at these events. Because, again, this was in scrum. I personally have been knocked around by cameras for reporters trying to get in front of my boss's face, even slashed with the camera.
Alice,
you don't go and sue the network.
Alice, do you hold the Secret Service accountable for this? Because if they were able to keep the reporters away, Lewandowski wouldn't have been there to do that.
Look, I've been on a campaign in the Secret Service bubble, and they do tremendous work. And believe me, if there was a threat to a candidate, the Secret Service would be the first ones to jump in and take action. And they were right there, right by Donald Trump when this happened. And for Corey to step in and do this, clearly the local law enforcement authority, after reviewing the case and talking to people, felt there was a concern. Look, and as we continue to say, this is not the first time there's been violent activity at a campaign event, and this is all part of the Trump culture.
Again,
and that is why he's having difficulty.
Bill Ayers and MoveOn.org.
All right, we're going to have to leave it right there.
Choice, America.
Fair and balanced debate. Alice, Katrina, thank you very much.